Welcome back to another video. This is the first video of the week. It is Monday, the 24th of August, 6:23 a.m. Got started a little later today, but had to make sure my caffeine was kicked in. Before we start, just want to ask that if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Also hitting the bell notification button right next to that subscribe button so that you are notified of a new video. And if you can, hit the like button. And the reason I ask is because the channel is very young. We're under 20 subscribers, and all of that really helps the channel grow and get discovered by other people organically, and works with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you for that. Bitcoin market looks like 2016, says the crypto fund Grayscale. Grayscale has been accumulating Bitcoin for quite some time now, and they even ran, I think, a commercial or an advertisement about a week ago, like a video. And I mean, if you've been following this at all, a lot of people are saying that this month that we're in, August, it looks just like the August of 2017. And I mean 2017. I don't know why they say like 2016. I mean 2017. But let's see what they're reading. Or let's see what they're saying. The Bitcoin bull run in 2020 has sent ripples across the crypto space, with market observers calling for the asset to eventually reach all-time highs later this year. And if one prominent firm is considered, the run is just getting started. Not just them who's saying that, by the way. Grayscale Investments, the institutional cryptocurrency fund, said in a recent report that Bitcoin is showing the same signs it did before the infamous 2017 run. And I'm just going to add, remember this, folks, when your parents or your grandparents, like the boomers, the old ones, when they start asking you about Bitcoin, you know you're there. The Bitcoin market structure bears parallels that of early 2016 before it began its historic bull run. It also identified several on-chain metrics that point towards an increased public sentiment in the broader crypto market. An important takeaway from that was the increase in long-term holding over short-term speculation, indicating a sustainable price rally compared to 2017's boom and bust. Yes, 2017 was insane. Early 2018, we saw the all-time highs, and then right after that, major crash. The firm predicted that both retail and institutional demand for Bitcoin would grow in the near future as inflation accelerates. I agree, caused by governments around the world printing money to jumpstart an economy affected by the ongoing pandemic. 100%, folks. Like the whole pandemic, constant stimulus, printing of money is actually really helping Bitcoin and cryptos right now. The above help highlight the need for a scarce monetary commodity, with Bitcoin fitting the bill, says Grayscale. Furthermore, noted that daily active addresses are at their highest since 2017's all-time highs. Data from on-chain analytics firm Glassnode confirms this finding. Is the Fed's money printing good for Bitcoin? I say yes, but let's see what the article says. Grayscale said the increasing dependence of the U.S. economy on quantitative easing to stay afloat showed it's an addiction difficult to quit. Interestingly, Bitcoin is not the only market to have surged this year. The S&P index, commodities, metals, and just about any asset on global markets dropped sharply in March and gained strength in the months after that. The so-called V-shaped recovery. And there it is, the V. But folks, remember, this V is, a lot of that is just stimulus, okay? If you have stocks and your stocks are here, and then you're looking at your stocks here, remember how many trillions of dollars had to be printed and pumped into the market just to get it back to where it was. Do not be fooled. Just remember how risky it is. But investors are wary of that, noted Grayscale. It said that clients viewed the unprecedented monetary and fiscal stimulus as a negative and were looking at alternative assets like Bitcoin and gold to hedge their holdings. Large corporations share that sentiment as well. Earlier this month, enterprise software MicroStrategy, a publicly listed company, I remember I had talked about this, announced it invested over $250 million in Bitcoin to protect against a grim economic outlook. Yep, they did. I totally remember that. The firm also said it considered a Bitcoin a new age of money. Now, if a bunch of other tech companies start doing that, oh my goodness. Meanwhile, Grayscale assessed Bitcoin's attributes against cash, gold, and financial assets to determine the market's potential. And let me just say, it really depends on the kind of world we're moving into. There's going to be some kind of giant reset, conflict, maybe a war, maybe a crash or a depression worse than we've ever seen, and I mean worse than 1929. And let's just put it this way: if infrastructure and electricity and the internet continue to exist and thrive in the new world we're moving into, then Bitcoin is going to be insane. If those things do not exist, you're going to really wish you had bought in gold and silver, okay? You need infrastructure to make Bitcoin work. Bitcoin is not going to go and do well. It's going to be worthless if you can't actually use it because electricity's gone, okay? Continuing, it even quoted Paul Tudor Jones, the hedge fund legend who also turned to Bitcoin to hedge investments this year in its report. Bitcoin had an overall score of nearly 60% of that, a financial, but has a market cap that is 1,200th of that. It scores 66% of gold as a store value, but has a market cap that is 1/60th of gold's outstanding value. For an outsider, it seems like Bitcoin's time as a money alternative has finally arrived. But investors must caution against any frenzied investments. Just about everything is pumped this year, after all. Agreed, but they can't print extra Bitcoin, and they just went through another halving. It's now twice as hard to make it just a few months back. In CBDC news, remember if you saw my weekend video on Saturday, I did a lengthy read of an article about central bank digital currencies and their ups and downs from Zero Hedge. If you can sit through it, if you want to really be interested in that, go check my video from Saturday. But looks like China's moving forward. China's CBDC tested on small retail transactions only, despite rumors claiming otherwise. At the same time, the country's blockchain-based service network explores further developments. Leave it up to the Chinese to be innovative on crypto before America. Shame on you, America. But you don't need to follow them in the CBDC thing. You can let them do that. Despite numerous reports claiming that the Chinese central bank is experimenting with large volume transactions for its CBDC, the central bank recently said that it's focusing on small retail transactions, but confirmed that the trials are ongoing in numerous regions. China's CBDC trials for smaller transactions. In the past few weeks, various reports claimed that the People's Bank of China had tested its central bank digital currency with a massive transaction volume to determine how much load it can take. Additionally, further rumors emerged that a house transaction in Shenzhen, China's South Guangdong province, supported the use of the digital currency after some citizens claimed that they had received a large volume of digital currency from a bank after selling local property. However, Global Times refuted these rumors by citing the PBOC. In a report from today, the local news outlet said that the central bank is currently testing the CBDC only in small retail transactions. At its current stage, the test's primary goal is to ensure the digital currency's operation runs smoothly and safe, and to determine how the CBDC is distributed from the central bank to financial institutions. Only when trials in retailing are successful will they be carried out in large transaction scenarios, commented Assistant Professor of Artificial Intelligence Wang Peng. Pilot tests of the digital currency indeed proceed in Shenzhen, Chengdu, and the Zhonggang New Area in Hebei province. The Shenzhen subsidiary is particularly active as of late. After posting multiple positions for blockchain development and research engineers, the local research unit has hired several new team members. China's BSN continues with developments. The Chinese blockchain-based service network aimed to facilitate and lower the cost for blockchain development has also been active lately. After integrating Chainlink and partnering with NEO, Yifan He from Red Date Technology recently explained BSN's merits in a comprehensive post. He highlighted DLT's benefits, but noted that building a network from scratch could take lots of time and funds. In response, BSN makes it cheap for everyone to use, as it must be infinitely close to zero. He added that the idea of the BSN is to grow a huge interoperability environment. Additionally, suggested that the platform can integrate stable coins such as Tether starting from next year. I mean, China's basically moving ahead into the digital landscape. They're known for manipulating their currency. I'd be very wary of a digital currency from China's bank, but they are moving ahead on testing crypto as well. They don't want to be left behind. They want to be the world leader on this, and shame on America for not doing the same thing with our cryptos that we have here. This coin came out of nowhere, folks. I'm going to read this article, but I remember checking the coin market cap. Well, I should say the coin... CoinStats is the app I have on my phone. And on that app, this was a... God, get out of here, dude. What are you doing? This app was a... well, it's like a coin market cap app for my iPhone, and I remember this coin coming out of nowhere. Essentially, I'd never heard of it, and then it was literally in the top 10, and then it became the top 8 coin on that app. I don't know if that was the actual, let me just see, it's not even here, okay? So apparently that might have been just unique to the app that I had, and maybe they had incorrect data. Maybe I shouldn't use that app, but I remember just seeing this coin come out of nowhere. And let's see what it is. Polkadot. Dude, you ever just have like a little tiny hair stuck in your mouth somewhere and you cannot get it out? Polkadot adds 40% daily as Bitcoin enjoys calm weekend. Bitcoin is back around 11,600 while Chainlink surges by over 7%. The daily stars altcoins are Cosmos, Bitom, Ben Protocol, and Polkadot with over 40% daily gains. Bitcoin and most large cap altcoins have recovered from yesterday's price dives. However, most altcoins are still far from their last week's all-time highs. Yes? Okay, is this talking about Polkadot? It's not. This article is not talking about Polkadot. There it is. Okay. After some controversy around its listing time, the DOT token surged to over $4, which is approximately 40% on the daily. DOT belongs to Polkadot, a project that carried a broad interest in the crypto community. The project completed its second token sale a month ago, after a first sale during 2017. Besides DOT, most altcoins have recovered from yesterday's dips as well, but still far from their 2020 high levels. Okay. So really this article is a freaking clickbait article. I'm actually quite upset because the title was literally about Polkadot and I know nothing about Polkadot now. But yeah, it came out of nowhere. I have not heard of it, but apparently it's very popular. And if anyone understands what this is, go ahead and drop a comment below. I never heard of it. This article's worthless. Crypto Potato, I'm not so sure I like you. In gold news, a slow price rebound for gold is actually more bullish in the long run, according to Commerce Bank. Gold is taking its time getting back to the highs from 2 weeks ago, with 2,000 an ounce level acting as a strong resistance point, according to Commerce Bank, which sees this trend as a very positive one for prices in the long term. Investors appear to be taking profits following the steep $80 price rise since the start of the week. Gold is not able to regain its record high from nearly 2 weeks ago quite so quickly, in other words. The fact that it is taking somewhat longer can only be healthy in terms of its future price performance, writes Commerce Bank analyst Carsten Frisch. Meanwhile, gold continues to maintain its positive correlation with equities and is seeing additional support coming from weaker US dollar. The S&P 500 only needed 5 months to rebound after its corona-induced slump in March, and yesterday posted a new record high again. The printed stimulus pumped high. I don't think it's real. The reason for this remarkable development, despite the most serious economic collapse in decades, is the same as for the upswing in the gold price in the last few weeks and months, namely the unprecedented expansion of central bank liquidity coupled with a lack of alternative investments. All eyes are now on the Federal Reserve meeting minutes from July, which will be published Wednesday afternoon. If the minutes reveal that yield curve control or the toleration of inflation above the target were discussed at the meeting 3 weeks ago, this would lend further buoyancy to gold, notes Fritsch. This is because real estate rates, when they slide even deeper into negative territory in the event of rising inflation, U.S. real interest rates with maturities of up to 10 years are already negative. Yep, so we'll see what happens when they publish their minutes this Wednesday. But I would not hold my breath, folks. Gold is open now, and we're still kind of trading at that mid-1900s level. Looks like we're up a little bit. Refresh up, and we've just gone down. But, man, silver, you guys know it. I think I say it literally every time we come to this little page. Get in on that silver, guys. Gold you can buy too, for sure. It's just very expensive. If you have the means, get some silver eagles immediately. And don't worry about the little premium, okay? Don't worry about that. Cryptocurrency update on the prices. Things are kind of trading smoothly over the weekend. Everything looks up a little bit, with the exception of Tether. Chainlink is now above Bitcoin Cash. These things are always switching back and forth. I mean, this is a good price point for Bitcoin to be holding, 11,700. You know, Ethereum's over 400 again. Tezzies are up quite a bit. My favorite VeChain down. Well, it's up a little bit, but it's still hanging in the 22 slot. Let's take a look at Omise Go, because that pumped really hard recently, didn't it? Did I pass it? There it is. It's the 25 coin. It's down a little bit, but man, $6.11. I remember when this was $1 something a year ago. So glad I bought some then. And another one that I have noticed that's kind of starting to make a comeback a little bit is Basic Attention Token. I used to be like thinking this was going to be the best crypto in the world. Turned out to not be, but it's made by the same guy who created JavaScript, the actual language, and the guy who created the Mozilla Firefox browser, Brendan Eich. Brandon Eich, I think is his name. He's also the guy who got himself fired from Mozilla Firefox for taking a certain stance, if you know what I'm talking about, a political stance, and his employees forcefully ousted him from his leadership position at Firefox, and his latest project is the Basic Attention Token, which is a crypto that you can supposedly earn through the Brave browser. Now, when I had Brave installed a year ago, I hated it, so I don't use it. Maybe it's good now, I don't know, but you can supposedly earn BAT through watching ads on Brave. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's update. This will probably be posted around 7 a.m. after it processes through YouTube. And thank you so much. Appreciate your subscription and you sitting through my updates every day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.